The usually amicable relationship between India and Bangladesh is facing a new hurdle. A surge in border fencing activities by India has sparked objections from Bangladesh. This development threatens to cast a shadow over the generally cooperative ties between the two South Asian neighbors. At the heart of the issue lies the construction of a fence along the extensive India-Bangladesh border. India argues that the fence is crucial for curbing cross-border criminal activities. It cites concerns over smuggling, trafficking, and illegal immigration. Bangladesh, however, views the fence as a provocation. It claims the construction violates a long-standing bilateral agreement. Dhaka's protests stem from the 1975 joint India-Bangladesh Guidelines for Border Authorities. This agreement, signed in the aftermath of the Bangladesh Liberation War, aimed to foster peaceful coexistence. It included provisions on border management emphasizing mutual respect and cooperation. The current standoff underscores the sensitivities surrounding the 4,096-kilometer boundary. It highlights the importance of dialogue and diplomacy in addressing bilateral concerns. The international community watches closely as the two nations navigate this latest challenge to their shared history. The 1975 Joint India-Bangladesh Guidelines for Border Authorities forms the bedrock of border management between the two nations. It outlines a framework for cooperation and dispute resolution. The agreement explicitly prohibits the construction of defense structures within 150 yards of the international boundary. Bangladesh interprets barbed wire fencing as falling under the purview of defense structures. It argues that the construction violates the spirit and letter of the 1975 agreement. Dhaka views the fence as an attempt to unilaterally demarcate the border, imposing India's will on its smaller neighbor. India, on the other hand, maintains that the fence is essential for national security. It argues that the 1975 agreement does not preclude the erection of fences to regulate cross-border movement. New Delhi insists that the fence is necessary to curb smuggling, trafficking, and illegal immigration, which have plagued the porous border for decades. This difference in interpretation lies at the heart of the current dispute. It underscores the need for clarity and mutual understanding of the agreement's provisions. Both nations must engage in constructive dialogue to bridge the gap in their interpretations and find a mutually acceptable way forward. Bangladesh has been vocal in its opposition to India's recent fencing activities. Recent incidents highlight the escalating tensions. In January 2025, the border guard Bangladesh halted the Border Security Force's construction of a fence in Malda and Mekliganj. Another flashpoint emerged near the Dahagram border in Lalmonirhat. The BGB protested the fence construction, leading to its suspension. These incidents prompted diplomatic exchanges. Bangladesh summoned the Indian High Commissioner to Dhaka to lodge a formal protest. Dhaka's concerns extend beyond the perceived violation of the 1975 agreement. Bangladesh argues that the fence causes hardship for communities residing along the border. It disrupts their traditional movement patterns, access to agricultural land, and social interactions. Furthermore, Bangladesh expresses apprehensions about the use of surveillance technology along the fence. It fears that smart fencing equipped with cameras and sensors could infringe upon its territorial sovereignty. These concerns underscore the need for sensitivity and transparency in India's border management practices. Despite the current impasse, both India and Bangladesh recognize the importance of a peaceful resolution. Dialogue and diplomacy remain the preferred course of action for both nations. The upcoming BGB-BSF DG level talks provide a platform for addressing the fencing dispute. These high-level talks offer an opportunity to ease tensions and find common ground. Both sides must approach the discussions with a spirit of cooperation and mutual respect. Open communication channels and a willingness to address each other's concerns are crucial for a successful outcome. The international community, particularly regional organizations like SAARC, can play a constructive role. They can encourage dialogue, facilitate confidence-building measures, and offer expertise on border management best practices. A peaceful resolution to the border fencing dispute is in the best interests of both India and Bangladesh. It is essential for maintaining peace and stability in the region. By upholding the spirit of the 1975 agreement and engaging in constructive dialogue, both nations can overcome this challenge and further strengthen their bilateral ties.